Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Well, hello, everybody. You are tuned into the right station. If you're listening to 910 AM, the Superstation with We Got Issues and the Force of Friendship, don't you dare turn that dial. We're excited to be here with you on today. And I am your host, Crisette Ellis from the D. I know. You're like, where has that chick been? Where has that girlfriend been? What happened? Did they kick her out the group? She's been awfully quiet. No, and no. I am still in the group. I'm excited to be here. Just took some R&R, some relaxation and rest with my husband. We were traveling in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, was there for a wonderful 10 days. And I know those of you that were in Michigan and all across the country, there were such great snowstorms. But I'm going to tell you, ain't nothing like getting out of Dodge when a snowstorm is coming in. I promise you, to be in the hot, sunny weather. We had an amazing time. And so today I am here with my girlfriends. Let me look in there. I haven't seen Sabrina's face in a while. Haven't definitely not seen Caterina. Hadn't seen Gloria, but on the weekend hooked up with my girlfriend Gloria. And I promise you, we had an amazing time. And so I'm so glad to see the girlfriends on today. And we're just going to kick it on today. When I tell you, you leave for 2 weeks and shut up. The world goes crazy. You leave for 2 weeks. It's a lot to talk about. So we're just going to check in. And you guys, we want to hear from you. We want to know what was on your radar over these last 2 weeks. What was on your radar on the over the weekend? The Michigan versus the Wisconsin basketball brawl with the coaches, Juwan Howard and Greg Garr. Oh my goodness. If you watch basketball, if you saw it, we want you to call us. Tell us, what do you think? What do you think should happen? I mean, everybody's like, should he be fired? Should he be suspended? What should happen? So it's a lot going on, and we want to hear from you. You can call us at 313-778-7600 because we want to know. And you know what? I'm sure there's a lot of other things that are going on. We want to know the tea. This is the day where we just hanging out. We're being girlfriends. I'm going to find out what my girlfriends were doing over the weekend so they can share what they were doing. And we're just going to talk. So this is talk radio. Did y'all know this is talk radio? So we want to talk to you. So
we got that down.
Please give us a call and let us know what's on your mind. Today is a free for all. So if you just have something you want to talk about, this is the day for you to call and talk to the girlfriends about it. You guys, I got to tell you this. So while we were in Mexico, and I was really, really glad the resort that we were staying at, they had really good rules in place. Pretty much, you could most people were wearing their mask indoors. Some people weren't, but pretty much when you get on the elevators, they were asking you to be mindful, and they had the spaces in the elevators, and they wanted you to have on your mask. And so this one particular day, and my husband and I, Chuck, we've been traveling for like 20 years with some really good friends of ours, Mark and Imelda. And so we were getting ready to get on the elevator. Of course, we had our mask on. There was one other couple in the elevator. And so because it's 4 of us, we would always ask, is it okay? If not, we can wait till the next elevator. No big deal. She's like, oh no, come in. So we start talking to her and, where you from, the basics. And so she was just saying how she said, you know what? Some people just really have problems following the rules. She said the other day she was in the elevator and the door opened and a couple was about to get on and they didn't have on their mask. And so she politely said, do you mind putting on your mask? She said the lady walked over to her, said no, and coughed on her.
What?
And coughed in her face.
Did she have on her mask?
Tell you,
Yeah, exactly.
I promise
Exactly.
you, something just I was like, Lord, you
At
said
a
you
resort.
won't test us above what we could stand. So I want to ask the radio audience, I want those of you that are listening, if that happened to you, how would you handle it? How would you handle it? So that's the question for today, because I really had to think about how would I handle it? I said, I know I'm a Christian. I know I love the Lord. I know the Bible says if somebody slaps you, turn the other cheek. But in that moment, I said, what would I have done? So I'm going to throw it over to Sabrina Goodwin Monday. Don't go to you. Okay, I'm going to go to Gloria. I'm going to let Sabrina.
Oh, you keep it
safe.
I know exactly what I do.
Calm down. I'm going to throw it over to Gloria in her beautiful yellow, my favorite color. Okay, Gloria, how would you handle that?
Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would do. This is exact. Now, I know that everybody can't see me, but my neck would immediately turn to Ken Banks and say, handle your business. What you going to do about this situation? I would immediately turn to him because I know he would have a reaction. And because what she did was offensive, intentionally offensive. And it was meant to harm. So he's my protector. If we were a couple, that's what I would do, because I'm not good at that type of confrontation, but I know when I've been pushed. So I was telling somebody earlier today, I tend to hang around people who are stronger than me in certain confrontational places. And so that's not me, but I would always surround myself with, but before I could turn like this, he probably would have done something. Probably would have said something, back off, get away. What is your problem? He don't have any problem saying something. He would have said something. Not offensive, but he would have said something, because that's a problem. That was
a black belt. So
offense.
you would want not to do it.
No, she said, and he's a black belt. Absolutely. But I just thought, how rude. I mean, you think when you go to those kind of resorts,
right?
A certain type of person that comes to those resorts, even if you felt she was making a political statement, which she wasn't, because in the resort they asked, if you would wear your mask. I don't think it was mandated, but and just in talking to this lady, I could tell. I mean, she was very mild-tempered, and I was just kind of looking at her like, "What did you do?" And she's kind of like she didn't do it. She was a very, very thin, lady, and we were just like, are you for real? Somebody would do something like that. So Gloria, your answer is you would turn to Ken and let him handle it. But what if you were in the elevator without Ken?
Now, you ain't say that. You didn't say now if I was in the elevator by myself. Let me just say, oh man, I don't know what I would do, Chris. I've never been in, I can't honestly say I never was in a fight when I was a kid. I don't know. I don't know. If somebody intentionally, that's like somebody intentionally walking up to you and slapping you in your face. That's what that's like. Because if she said no and coughed at you like that, she's literally asked, I don't know, I probably called the police and hold on to it until they got there.
Okay, that's hard to know.
I'm shocked.
Okay. Caterina from the West Coast and from the East Coast, what would you do?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I would do. I would do, because you guys have got to go. I didn't send this in the chat, but did y'all hear about the Merrill Lynch advisor who was fired after the tirade against the smoothie shop worker caught on video? So,
oh no, okay, so you're going to unfold that.
Yeah. So there were two girls, and one girl went to the back, and the other girl, she came out. She was like, this man claims that he ordered a smoothie. at this smoothie shop, and he claims that he ordered it. He's ordered it without he ordered a particular smoothie. His child has a peanut allergy. He says
Wow.
he told them that, but he didn't tell them that. Apparently, when she went to the car, and you take a risk whenever you go to a restaurant, they're not going to use a special something just for your
Right.
child. So whatever they got through fixing, it apparently had some peanuts. She had a reaction. He came back and he started calling her all kinds of racial epithet, said all kinds of craziness, and then he threw the smoothie at her. And then he tried to come in the back. When I tell you, she was like, where you coming? Are you coming? Wait, I know you ain't about to come. See, so I wouldn't have necessarily went at her first, but if you get in a position that you have to defend yourself, you have to defend yourself. But the one girl in the back, she was in the back texting. I was like, if you don't pick up that phone and call 911, but it's something about when he said that racial epithet and told her that she was an immigrant and he just went there. But here's the deal. Don't play with people now, because on TikTok, they had him right up there, put him in the background and said his name is James Iannizano. He works for Merrill Lynch, and this is where he works, and this is where he is, and here's his LinkedIn, and I think y'all should hit him up. And brother man, he lost his job. So,
Really?
But what did she do? What did she do? When he threw the stuff on her, what did she do?
She didn't, it was a counter in between them. So she was just in his face. Like, I know you're not fixing to come over here. I know you're not fixing to come over here. But when he had tried to come over, she went for him. And when he threw that smoothie, if he had touched her, she would have boxed him, and it's unfortunate.
So the smoothie hit
a little girl. The smoothie hit the back of her head. The smoothie hit the back of her head.
But still, she can probably sue him for that. She can still, because he threw something at her.
Civil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Assault.
Yeah.
With the
They said
intention
because
to
he
hurt
didn't touch her. Because he didn't touch her, it's not as, they try to get whatever. And he claims that he was trying to protect his child. And he just went, these people just go, okay, don't even get me started. It's similar to the trial that we're waiting on right now, that they say they were just, defending the neighborhood. But nah, that's a problem.
Right.
And I hate to go here, Chris, but was there a race difference? Because you don't want to just always assume that. But
yes. The lady in the elevator.
You're talking racial to her.
Right. But I'm saying she asked about the incident that I was telling you guys about. I didn't mention that the lady in the elevator was a Latina, and the lady who did that to her was Caucasian.
In Mexico.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. So Sabrina, are you calm?
I'm very calm. It's so good to see you guys. Oh my goodness. Chris, I love your suntan. You're so brown. I love your braids. You look like you're relaxed and had a wonderful vacation. Caterina, I love your hat, your AKA gear today. Gloria, I love your yellow, and your lashes are amazing. Oh my goodness.
She diverting, Chris.
Right, exactly.
Girl, all that other stuff. Honestly, yeah, Chris, I'm a Christian woman. I love the Lord, but I would have lost religion on that day. I would have lost religion in the elevator. Seriously, that is just disrespectful, inconsiderate, rude, and quite honestly, it's an assault to cough on somebody in this day and age. No, you don't do that. And so I don't know how you calmly deal with that. I know that I'm still working on controlling my emotions, but that situation would have been a problem. It would have been a problem. And I would not just let it go. We would have had to address it right then and there. You cough on me, it's going to be the last person you cough on. You don't just cough on me. Okay? You don't do that. Not in the land of COVID. No. So I'm sorry. I know I have some growing to do in that area, but my mama said, if somebody mess with you, you mess with them back. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
She's the force in the force of friendship.
and so you all know that when we travel, if something go down, we all will look to Sabrina. Sabrina is the one that lives in the house where her husband is Kenny Monday. the first Black and the only gold medalist in wrestling. Okay, and her two sons know how to wrestle, so I'm sure she's learned some moves by living in that house.
I really have. Try it. Let's go. Yeah,
just try it. Well, you guys, we have a couple of callers. We have Larry on hold. We have Tia on hold. We're going to go to our first break. We want you all to hold on, and as soon as we come off of our first break, we want you to chime in on what you would do if you were in that situation, or maybe there's something else you want to talk to us about. You're listening to 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, where we got issues with the force of friendship. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. And oh my goodness, we are talking everything on today. Whatever is important to you is important to us. So if you have any topic you want to talk about, we would love for you to give us a call and share at 313-778-7600. We're talking about hot news. We're talking about what the girlfriends did over the weekend. What did you do over the weekend? Did you do something very interesting that you want to share? Go ahead, give us a call. Today is the perfect day for you to call in. Again, that number is 313-778-7600. Okay, so before the break, we had a couple of callers. Tia, are you still there with us?
How are you?
Doing well.
Thank you for calling us, Tia. How you doing today? I am fine, and I agree completely with this Monday. I love your braids today, Crisette. I love the hat, Caterina, as usual. I like Gloria with the yellow and just looking gorgeous. And then my favorite is Sabrina Monday. Always gorgeous.
You always, Tia. You always got to throw in your favorite. Always.
Don't hate.
Okay.
That's right, Tia.
That dog Sabrina. I know y'all said she left me, but I love it. You know what? This topic, let me tell you. Your bumper song comes in, and let me just say it's going down.
Right.
On the elevator, and somebody talks in my face.
Okay.
That is the equivalent of spitting in your face.
Right.
Yes,
You
exactly.
You don't know if that person has COVID. You don't know if they have the flu. You don't know what they have.
It don't matter what they got.
I told you to anything. Let me tell you this. I would have calmly backed away. I'd have put down my coat bag and let her think when I'm going down, and I'd beat the brakes off of her.
Okay.
You feel me? I mean, for real, that's what I'm a scratch me for real, and my goal would beat the brakes off of you if you not get that bad. That is beyond disrespectful. You might as well shit in my face at this point. Just to ask somebody to put on the mask. I mean, if she could have easily just not gotten on the elevator, but that's all right, baby. Go on here. I'll wait for the next elevator. But to get on there and do something like that is so calculating, and it's just so
Nasty.
evil. Nasty to do something like that.
So Tia, that would be more than you could bear.
You can bear.
You couldn't just walk away and say, "Okay, Jesus, help me." You couldn't do that.
Well, the thing is that now we're both on the elevator together.
Well, you know what? Let me just say this. I think she told me she came on, coughed in her face, and then got off. She didn't ride. She did it and then, got off.
Okay. So, oh my goodness. If she would have coughed on that elevator and attempted to back off, my foot would have went to stop that elevator. And I came off on her. Because at this point, it got to be, what if she had COVID? And what if she gave it to me by coughing in my face?
Right.
I need accountability for the person who just assaulted me. And I need a piece of that behind. Right. And I need somebody to come in here and let's come and intervene while I'm whipping on her. So yeah, come on and intervene. You don't just coughing my face.
And you know what's interesting, and we have another caller, so I'm going to Grace after this, but what's interesting, Tia, is, sometimes you would think that, she would be the one that would be arrested or, kicked out of the resort, but it didn't always go down like that. If she coughed and somebody, and the fight got started, you may have ended up, arrested or kicked out as well. So I know sometimes you can't think that far when something like that happens, but to me, in the day and the time that we're living in this pandemic, that is an assault. I mean, you coughing on me is an assault. Because I have on my mask, we don't know if that lady was vaccinated or not. Maybe for her, she was just wearing a mask and that was the only protection that she had. So I agree that cough on that lady was an assault, period, and point blank.
And you know what? To me, it really doesn't matter to me if you're vaccinated or not.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Right. Is that you coughed on me,
right,
and you didn't give me just an iota of respect. And even if the end of the I were to be escorted out, I'd have a piece on behind it.
Tia, that's what I'm talking about.
Tia, thank you so much.
Not a lover. She's a fighter, not a lover. Okay.
Well, Tia, we appreciate you calling in. Thank you. We appreciate you, Tia, calling in and giving us your perspective on how you would have handled that situation. All right, Grace, are you still with us, Grace?
Yes, I am. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening, Grace.
Good evening. Which one of you said you've never been in a fight?
Gloria Mayfield Banks.
Or your cousin? Huh?
Gloria's never been in a fight.
Nothing you can recall that ever was in the category of counseling. None. You've never been in a physical fight.
No. I mean, let me say this. I've defended myself because I was in a domestic violence situation. So let me be clear. I defended myself in those situations, but that's not what I would call like a fight that other people had, but no, that was a whole different situation.
Okay, right. So my understanding is somebody just intentionally coughed on you. Is that the description of your having an elevator? Mm-hmm. And wow, that is, well, somebody shat on me before, okay? And I was outdone because of who I was and the character of me. Everybody knew that I was a no-no. You do not do anything remotely close to that. And I paused and I was stunned for like 7 seconds. And I looked at the person that did it and I said, you made a mistake. Clearly you made a mistake. And that person responded, no, I did it. And it was on. And I mean, I went in, I wrapped my hand around that hair and drug that individual to the bathroom, and we had a confrontation a good 5 minutes. I came out of the bathroom walking without a scratch, but I performed. I did. So that right there, and I don't condone violence, but something like that, you cross the line and you did it on purpose, you're going to suffer the consequences, period. And it is what it is.
It is what it is, Grace. That's right.
It is what it is. It's going down.
It's going down tonight, baby.
Hey, Grace, it's going down like our music. It's going down. It's going down tonight.
I don't. I was stunned. I was shocked that that literally happened to me. But I responded in a particular way that I don't know. I did it, and I felt okay about it, and I was good on it, and it is what it is. She took me there, and I did it.
And Grace, I mean, let me just ask this. If somebody, and this is to all the girlfriends can respond, if somebody spits on you, they literally are expecting an altercation. Wouldn't you think?
Right.
If somebody spits on you, they are expecting that. That is like a slap in the face. That is like a punch in the face. That is like, roll up your sleeves. It's time to go.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's the individual that they played drunk. Okay. And I say played drunk. They may be intoxicated, but they knew what they were doing. And they wanted a reaction out of me, and I gave it to them. But I literally said, you made a mistake. And I wanted to know before I went in. This is no. Oh, I said, okay. And I did what I did. But I took it into the bathroom on a private note. And other people were still there. They did not come in until a little bit after I did what I did. Then they came in. But I handled it. I handled it well. I did. And I was first-degree black belt in martial arts.
Oh, really?
I could have done so many other things, but I chose to scrap that day. And I was 26 when that happened.
Wow.
I was 25.
Wow.
I will never forget it because I couldn't believe that somebody did that to me. I couldn't believe it. And still to this day, I went there. And I went there strong. But yeah, it was a good 5 minutes I punished. It sure did. It happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, that incident, yeah, they expected something like, when somebody blatantly do something like that, they want a reaction out of you. And I just went there.
Wow.
I did. I went there.
Well, you know what? And again, everybody, has their limits. I mean, this lady that told us, about that incident, I mean, she was very poised when she said it. And she was she was still outdone because she told us about it. But I can tell you, she didn't do anything. I mean, she didn't react with, going to tell. I don't even know that she went and reported her. And I don't know that she could, because by that time, I'm sure the elevator doors closed. But yeah, everybody has their limits. And I mean, we're living in such a volatile time that it's crazy out there. But thank you so much, Grace, for coming in and sharing your story. We appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Caterina, I'm gonna have you jump in. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, and it really is unfortunate because this just happened about 4 months ago to my cousin, who's a former police officer, very, very well respected in her community, at a gas station. And a woman came up to her and went off racially, totally went off at her. Everybody in the gas station was watching it, and no one came to her defense. No one called the police. She went off on her. The woman was younger than my cousin. and she approached her. And my cousin is licensed to carry, former police officer, and it really was the Holy Spirit that protected her. But it was about to be an altercation. And the unfortunate thing is, if my cousin had not had her credentials, the officers were going to arrest her. I mean, they were just automatically, it was just like the situation with the kid, the white kid and the black kid, where they sat the white kid down and the black kid, they were going to arrest her. God forbid she had to pull that gun and, to that woman. She would have been arrested and probably would have to be fighting for her life right now. And she was just pumping gas and the woman came at her and nobody came to her to fix. They just, no one.
And you know what? And Caterina, that happens more times than not. And just think about all the times it happens that is not captured on film. Oh my goodness, this is such a great conversation, Gloria. We'll come to you right after the break. You're listening to We Got Issues on 910 AM, the Superstation. We'll be right back. We're back. Yes. Oh my goodness. I have missed these ladies. I have missed hanging out with them. I'm telling you, we can talk all night long. Topic after topic, happy stuff, bad stuff, stuff that make you cry, stuff that make you laugh till it hurt. And so we're talking everything, anything hot in the news. We're talking about, someone in the elevator with her mask on, and a lady came in and coughed on her because she asked her to put on a mask before she got in the elevator. So I'm telling you, we thank all the callers for calling in. But if you have a comment on that, or you just have something else you want to talk about, you still have time to give us a call at 313-778-7600. Gloria, I know you wanted to chime in and say something before break.
I know. You know what? The first part of this show has been, what would you do? The TV show, what would you do? We got issues. What would you do? Okay, Gloria Hodges said, I'm from Mississippi. I can't say what I would do, but I would be arrested. She knew what the end result would be. I loved it. Carolyn, you saw, like, when the doors opened up, the chick would find herself on the floor. I mean, I love the fact that you guys are giving such juicy information. Okay, so what would you do? In the news, it talks about a Texas Starbucks you know, I can't say it, barista, the people who make the coffee, right? They saw this young girl. She was 18 years old, studying by herself. But a man was there with her talking really loud to her and made them all feel uncomfortable. So the barista took over a hot cup of chocolate and said, someone left this hot chocolate here so you can have it, but leaned it over so that she could see, are you okay? And if you need help, just take the lid off. And the little girl, well, she's 18 years old, looked over there, and all the baristas at Starbucks were leaning on the counter, ready to take on this guy because they felt this girl was in trouble. She didn't take the lid off. She didn't need any help. But the mother came back to the Starbucks and said she was so appreciative because her daughter's getting ready to go to college. And for her to know the world is still okay. People are watching out for other people. And it made her feel so good. It hit the news. A lot of people are talking about it, but that barista put on a note there, you know. And so many times we hear these stories about what would you do? We see women that look like they're in a strange position, or kids where you don't know whether it's human trafficking or, you know, just somebody's unhappy. And, you know, you have to balance that whole thing between, do you say something? Is the person uncomfortable? Is it their private relationship? Is it the time to step in? If you step in, are you going to be embarrassed? If you don't step in, is it going to be on your brain forever? You know, so it's just amazing that you can have a conversation like, what would you do? You're at the coffee shop. Somebody's going at somebody. We've all been it. You've been at a restaurant where someone's having a really bad argument. You know, I had a girlfriend once that she was at a restaurant. I wasn't at the restaurant with her, but she was at a restaurant in an argument with some guy who picked up his glass of water and threw it in her face. I mean, I was like, and so we all sit there. You know, managers of restaurants have to deal with this all the time. So it's like, same with the elevator. Something happens, you least expect it. What would you do? So I just thought it was awesome that it made the news that this person did something about it.
Yeah, and you know what, Gloria, that is one. I don't know if it still comes on, but I used to watch that show that was called "What Would You Do?" Don Quixote, I think, is the guy that was doing the show, and it would be so interesting to watch how people responded. And you said something, Gloria. You said, you know, being aware and watching. When I was flying back home through Atlanta, and I want to say that, you know, I haven't been flying that much, so maybe they were doing it before COVID. I just don't remember, but they had announcement after announcement about sex trafficking. If you see something, if something looks, you know, suspicious, call 911. And I just thought that was interesting that that's what they were saying at the airport, which lets you know that it's a lot of trafficking, you know, that takes place right there in front of our face in Atlanta. I mean, I must have heard that announcement every 15 or so minutes until I said, wow, I mean, they are really, you know, making this a big deal at that airport. So, like you said, Atlanta might be one of the biggest places where they're trafficked. So, yeah, that's just interesting. What would you do? And sometimes you really don't know until you are placed in that situation. And so, what else, you guys? What else is going on in the news? Sabrina, what else is going on?
Well, you know, the big news is Juwan Howard, the coach at Michigan. That's your alma mater, right, Chris? That's your alma mater?
That's Kiara's alma mater. I went to the other school.
Oh, you go to the green and white. You go to the green and white Michigan. That's how okay. Well, the other Michigan, oh my goodness. Did you guys see that scuffle between the coach and the assistant coach of Wisconsin? I mean, the game was over. They were shaking hands. They got into it. All I know is they were throwing some serious punches. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is not a good example for these young folks.
Right.
You know, as adults, as the leaders, we got to be able to shake it off, have good sportsmanship. Well, I don't know. But and I didn't hear the interviews today. Maybe you guys did, because each coach was saying their piece. But I just want to know, what do you guys think? Because, of course, I was like, I was thinking, well, there's some repercussions, there's some consequences. And Kenny's like, well, what do you think it needs to happen? I said suspension. He said, do you think they should be fired? I said, no, not fired, but suspended, yes. He's like, what, for maybe a game? I was like, no, 2-3 weeks. He's like, no, that's too much. That's too much. And so what do you guys think? I mean, what do you guys think should happen to the coaches?
Well, who swung at who and why?
Juwan Howard from Michigan, he swung at the assistant coach from Wisconsin. Now, this is the thing. I mean,
okay, but
I know
Chris, but he said that the coach pulled him first. He touched him first. He said he touched him first. And then
but he said the coach. He didn't say the assistant coach. Did he say the assistant coach? Because I thought he said the coach. But he hit the assistant coach. And now this is the thing, and everybody is, having their say. And so the question is, what did the coach say to him after the game? I don't know basketball well enough to know what he called the timeout, even though they were winning. And so I don't know if tempers flared because of that, but everything that I've read so far is saying that definitely that was not a good look for either one, especially Juwan Howard, because he was the one that threw the blow that hit the assistant coach. And that you can see. Now, if somebody said something, I mean, this is America. It's free speech. Yes, it makes us angry, but you can't hit somebody because of what they say. So
he pushed him. I just saw the video. I'm looking at the video right here like 3 times. He pushed that man, grabbed him. The Wisconsin guy grabbed the Michigan guy, grabbed his arm and then pushed on him. And then the words of alterations, you don't know what they said. Not according to the video. So I think what was said is important. I just don't think what was done was important because, it is true that sometimes people can say things that can be very low, that can be intentionally almost like a bullet, like intentionally that, I just wonder.
Doesn't give you the right. That doesn't give you the, but Gloria, so you're saying because somebody said something to him and it got you that fired up that you have the right to
I'm saying it's wrong to make a decision as to what should happen until you get more of the facts. If you just look at the video and you make a decision based on the video, that is incorrect. Because depending on what they've done all these other times, it's always an investigation that goes deeper. And all the time, the reason you have an investigation is because there's always more to the story. It could be about a child. It could be anything.
It could be about your mama. It could be about your mama. It could be
anything. It could be anything. So instead of just looking at that, especially in the condition of the country we live in now, it's easy to make a situation based on what you see. But what you see ain't
that's why they said definitely suspended, not fired. They said they have had coaches that have done far more and they have given them grace, so not fired.
And you know suspended. What? I have learned that everything is not always as it appears. But before we go to our break, we have a caller. Guys, guess who's on the line? Marathon. Hey, Marathon. Are you still there?
Yeah, yes.
Hey,
we've been missing you. I saw that fight last night. I don't know what he could have said, but boy. Marathon? Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what the coach could have said, but boy.
Yeah, he said something, though. He said something.
He said something else. So what do you think should happen, Marathon? Do you think they should just be suspended or do you think they should be fired? They should both have some time off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think not too long, but enough to let them know that they're serious. Okay, that's good. How have you been, Marathon? I've been okay.
Okay. You kind of felt some kind of way, like you didn't love us anymore. You hadn't called.
Or maybe you weren't here. He was with us last week.
Oh, he was. Oh, okay. All right. They set the record straight, Marathon. I was going to give you some love, but they said you've been back. I was away, so I'm glad to hear your voice. I'm glad you called when I was hosting.
What you think about Officer Potter?
Oh my goodness!
You know what, Marathon? Stay on the line. We're going to go to the break, and we absolutely got to talk about that one when we come off a break. You're listening to 9:10 a.m. the Superstation.
We got issues with the force of friendship. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be right back. We're back. We're back. We are back. We are back. Oh my goodness. I think Marathon, you still on the line? You still there, Marathon? Okay. All right. Well, Marathon, you brought up a topic, and you know what? I was on vacation. And when I tell you we were just appalled, we were shocked. We couldn't believe that Officer Potter only got 2 years. Now, you know, we know that she was charged with manslaughter, but that just seems like, you know, just 2 years. And they're saying for good behavior, she'll probably only do maybe 16 months. So what do you think about that, Marathon?
It seemed like the judge took it out of the hands of the jury. To me, I don't know.
Okay. So I don't know if the judge
came up with her own conclusion.
Okay.
It seems like to me.
Okay. So you know what? Let me just say this for our listening audience that may not know who we're talking about. We're talking about Kim Potter, who she was sentenced for just 2 years in prison for killing Dante Wright. She was the former officer who fatally shot Dante Wright during a traffic stop. She pulled her gun, which she said she thought was her taser, ended up shooting him and killing him. So that's what we're talking about. And this happened in Minneapolis. So, girlfriend, thank you so much, Marathon, for bringing that up. Thank you so much for calling. So good to hear your voice.
All right, now.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right.
Roving reporter Kenny Monday just said Coach Howard got 5 game suspension.
Who?
The other Coach Howard, Juwan Howard, got 5 games. The other coach, 0. So no matter what was said, for now he got 5 games. That's a long time.
5 games. Wow.
Oh, 5 games. I thought you said 5 days. 5 games.
No, 5. That's a long time in basketball. 5 games. And
so really, basically, the rest of the regular season, he's not going to be on the bench. The rest of the season.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, look at you, Gloria. Right. Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Down to this money. Who's got the biggest donors? Who made the biggest stink? There you go.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely
They
right.
said they
Gloria.
can't hear me. How come they can't hear me?
I fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying that just seems so unfair, you know. And you know what? Partly because how are you able to make that kind of judgment in that amount of time? I mean, at least, you know, draw it out and give it a week so we think you were thinking about it. But to be able to come up with that overnight, and I don't even know if it's been 24 hours before they came up with a decision. It's kind of like, come on, y'all. At least can you make us think? You're taking some time to investigate and see everything that went down. But hey, hate to say it is what it is, but at some point you get tired of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Sabrina, we know that you had a chance to go to you were at something, but was the All-Star?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What were you and Kitty with?
Fire. The city was on fire. We had the NBA All-Star Weekend in Cleveland, Ohio. And so we got to participate in some of those activities. I mean, when I tell you everybody who was anybody related to NBA basketball, they were in the city. It was so fun, you guys. It was so fun. I mean, that just so many festivities. And I have to say, I have to give it up to the NBA in terms of doing their best. They had, they gave so much money to minority businesses in the city. They had a big business expo where 200 minority-owned businesses were showcased. And the goal was to raise for the dollar to circulate $500,000 to $1 million over the weekend for these Black businesses. And so that was exciting. That was really exciting. So I was able to network, meet a lot of people, a lot of the businesses that I met. They're going to be on the show in the coming weeks. Yes.
I saw you went to a fashion show.
Went to a fashion show. Yes. LeBron James' mother had a fashion show. And yes. And LeBron was there. I love him. And
see, I knew he would come. I knew he was going to be there.
Oh, he was there. He loves Ohio, you guys. He loves Ohio. And we're just not going to be surprised if he doesn't find his way back here, because he wants him and his son to play on the same team before he retires.
Wow.
Yes.
Now that would be amazing.
Would that be amazing? That would be amazing.
Sabrina, so you know we're gonna wait for you to get LeBron James on the show. So that's gonna be your job.
Right. We'll wait for that.
Start with his mama.
We'll wait for that one. Let's go for his mother. Let's go for Gloria. I'm gonna have a better chance of getting his mom, and then we'll try to get Bronny, okay? But I mean, the fashion show was amazing. They're doing some amazing things in the Northeast Ohio area. He has a school, and so many of those kids from the school were around all weekend. He loves those children, giving them an opportunity like never before. When I tell you, they are making a difference making a difference.
Right.
It was just a beautiful weekend to see so much activity, so much love. I mean, there was a picture, you guys, of LeBron when he was just a newcomer to the NBA, shaking Michael Jordan's hand, and he looked in his eyes with adoration, like, "You're my idol." And now they're like boys, okay? And you just think, not where you start, it's where you finish. And dreams do come true if you believe and go to work. And so it was inspirational.
Was Michael there?
Michael was there, yes.
Wow.
Michael was there, you guys. I mean, the game last night, you guys, we didn't quite get tickets to the big game. I told Kenny he's got to be a better networker, okay, to get us tickets to the big game. But anyway, LeBron hit the winning shot at the end. I mean, Steve Curry hit like 16 3-pointers, which was so exciting, y'all. It was
they said that was amazing.
It was amazing. Then not Michael Jordan, but LeBron hit the final basket to win the game. In Ohio, the crowd went wild. So it was a fun NBA All-Star weekend. It really was. It was awesome.
I bet that was so much fun. So much fun. I love LeBron.
Chris, that story that I gave you guys, just talking about making a difference, that story I gave you guys about Larry Milner, who at 16 killed another teen, and at 72 is Nike executive over the Jordan brand. Friends with Michael Jordan, his boy giving him a chance and him making a difference and becoming an executive at Nike. I mean, you talk about making a difference and being friends with the right people. Just it's a powerful story. Folks can look it up.
It's a real powerful story. I saw a long interview about that, Caterina, about him, how he's gone back to the parents of the child that was shot and has tried to make amends, some forgiveness, not all the way, but that it ate at him for years, and he always knew this. And he was at such a different place. You know, we always talk about redemption, and how he made such a difference, how that background made him bring money to the hood, stay in the hood, made Nike have the responsibility of the hood. It changed and shaped his conversation with Michael Jordan and how he got the deal. It was very interesting. Without them even knowing what he had done, it shaped everything that he did to make a big difference. That was so interesting.
It is just a reminder to us that change is not always pretty, and how we get change more times than not is absolutely not pretty. Just think about the civil rights movement and what they had to go through and endure in order for us to have change. So change is going to cost, and it's sometimes not pretty. Oh my goodness. I have absolutely loved hanging out with my girls. I'm back. We have absolutely enjoyed this conversation. You guys, we are going to be here on tomorrow. So we want you to tune in too. We got issues, 9-10 a.m. The Superstation. We'll be here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Have a great evening. Bye-bye, everybody.